It's 11 o'clock. You're watching WTKR News 3. I'm Jessica Larche, and a coastal storm is pushing through our region, leaving cars stuck and neighbors fed up.
Turn around, people, unless you got a kayak.
Tonight, the problems one Virginia Beach community is facing and what the city says they're doing to fix it. Plus, another home swept into the ocean in the Outer Banks. Now at 11, what we're learning about the latest coastal collapse and the area's leaders are asking people to avoid.
Right now, the weather cleanup is now top of mind as weather conditions are likely to improve tomorrow. Find out the latest details straight ahead.
News 3 at 11 starts right now. And as we come on the air tonight, the coastal storm has left a trail of wind, rain, and flooding, and the camera shaking behind me right over News 3's downtown studios. The conditions made some roadways impassable. So this is what it looks like now, right there on Bush and Olney. And here is what it looked like just a few hours ago. Yeah, you can see cars stuck there, the lights blinking, trying to take a chance to get through the floodwaters there, but it's a safe bet. If you see it flooding on Bush and Olney, you can't drive through it. 6 cars stuck in the intersection there just after high tide. The impacts of the storm being felt across our region, too. Taking a live look from the Virginia Beach oceanfront, you see the camera shaking just a bit. And as we come on the air tonight, we've learned all Virginia Beach City public schools and offices will operate on a 2-hour delay tomorrow. So let's get an update on the first warning for what we can expect tomorrow from Chief Meteorologist David Aldridge.
Well, Jessica, we can take a deep breath because we're now in that transition to improving conditions. It's not going to be perfect in the morning, but it's going to be much better than we had today. The worst of the storm is now in the rearview mirror, but we have some cleanup. We still have some spin. It's not perfect. It's not dry everywhere. We picked up quite a bit of rain. But as Jessica mentioned, it was like a lake right here outside our studios along Olney Road and Bush Street. But now things have improved a little bit now that high tide has come down. Look at the neighborhood weather watchers. Only a ½ inch in Jackson, North Carolina, but they had almost 4.5, a little more than that for Debbie Buchanan there in Matthews County. But this is not a misprint. 7.5. There were 8-inch plus amounts in Virginia Beach tonight and today, and all that collected in some areas that made it really challenging. Norfolk about 3.5. Now that we've hit high tide, we're going back to below normal and actually close to no tide issues as we head through the night tonight and into tomorrow. More in your forecast in just a moment.
Flooding, stuck cars, tow trucks, and police vehicles are just some of the things I saw in the Windsor Woods neighborhood of Virginia Beach on Tuesday. I'm News 3 reporter Erin Holly in Windsor Woods. Neighbors here tell me this wasn't the first time they've experienced major flooding during a storm, and they don't think it'll be the last time either.
All these cars turning around. A car right here was died, and then another car was turning around and backed into it.
Tisha Connor has lived in the Windsor Woods neighborhood of Virginia Beach for more than a decade. She tells me those are just a few of the problems that heavy rainfall brings to the area every time it storms.
It is a lot better down here than it is up there in the river. There's at least 3 cars that are stuck.
And those cars were not the only ones that got stuck in the water in Windsor Woods on Tuesday. These neighbors tell me they're ready for this flooding issue to be solved.
Well, they've been working on it for about 1.5 years, it seems like, I think, to clear out, get the new drainage system going. I know I voted for it when I voted, to get this done. But yeah, whatever I guess it takes to kind of get the sewer drainage system going so that we don't keep having this flooding like this.
A statement from the city of Virginia Beach says in part, quote, for example, the recently installed Windsor Woods tide gate currently has 5 temporary pumps in place to help lower Lake Windsor. However, during heavy rain events like this, those pumps don't have the full capacity needed. The city has a project underway to replace these temporary pumps with a permanent, larger pump station that will provide more protection in future storms.
Because it's not just vehicles. If it gets too bad, people are losing their stuff in their house.
Until the more permanent solution for the drainage system in Windsor Woods is in place, neighbors have one piece of advice during storms.
Turn around, people, unless you got a kayak.
In Virginia Beach, I'm Erin Holly, WTKR News 3.
turn around unless you have a kayak. All right, tonight, thousands of homes and businesses throughout our region are without power tonight. Take a look at this Dominion energy outage map. I'll explain what this means here. So there are 15,000 homes and businesses without power in our area right now. You see the highlighted communities. Virginia Beach seeing the most, several thousand homes and businesses without power at this hour. Dominion crews saying they are working on restoring service during the storm. And we know Norfolk also no stranger to flooding. This is right outside of the Chrysler Museum in downtown Norfolk, closer to the Ghent area tonight. You can see parts of the Hague River flooding into the roads. You know, that high tide, you see that water rush into those parts of our community. And turning to the Outer Banks tonight, where another home has collapsed into the beach in Buxton. The home collapsed near Tower Circle Road. Take a look at your screen there. Cape Hatteras National Seashore is urging visitors to avoid the area and stay out of the water. This is the 12th house to collapse on the seashore. Officials say the beach is closed from the north end of Buxton to around off-road vehicle ramp 43, and it could be extended due to the damage. They also say to stay away from the north end of Rodanthe.
On Monday, this structure was laying up against the guardrail of the Mark Bass Knight Bridge over Oregon Inlet. It now sits here in the parking lot. I'm Will Thomas, your Outer Banks neighborhood reporter. Pictures from crews who were there show the stunning scenes of part of a house leaning on the guardrail of the Mark Bass Knight Bridge on Monday. High winds pushed the structure off the truck that was carrying it, and as crews got on scene, they realized the wind was not going to let up while they worked. And all the event was a success when crews were able to block the wind where they worked, get everything tied back down, and slowly travel down to the other side of the bridge to safety.
The hardest thing for me was it's hard to predict what the wind's going to do. So at any given time, it could increase or pick up. So there was a little bit of time there where we were literally praying and we were unsure about what was going to happen with the load and the weight and the wind speed and direction. It was a new experience by far.
The Outer Banks continues to feel the weight of the weather this week with wind speeds and overwash present in trouble spots on NC 12, including here at Pea Island National Wildlife Refuge, where crews continue to reinforce the dunes and move sand off the road. In Rodanthe, Will Thomas, WTKR News 3.
Weather has had a big impact on our community over the last few days, so now is a good time to download the News 3 app. It is free. That way you'll get updates from the First Warning Storm Team, plus breaking news sent straight to your phone. Just scan the QR code there on your screen or head to WTKR.com/apps. New tonight, the Navy has confirmed the sailor charged in the death of culinary specialist 3rd class Angelina Resendez will have a hearing this week. Navy leaders did not identify the sailor charged, but did say the Article 32 hearing will be Thursday morning at Naval Station Norfolk. As we've reported, a Navy document shared with us by a source close to the case identified culinary specialist Jeremiah Copeland as the sailor charged in Resendez's death. The document accuses Copeland of committing the murder while on active duty at or near Norfolk on or about May 29th. The date Navy officials say Resendez was last seen. The hearing will determine if there is enough probable cause for the case to move forward to a general court-martial. The media is invited to that hearing on base. News 3 is working to get there. We'll give you updates from the courtroom. New details tonight. Tyler Robinson, the man authorities believe assassinated conservative activist Charlie Kirk last week, appeared in court for the first time today. This comes as officials share new details about messages exchanged between Robinson and his roommate. Andres Gutierrez has the latest for us tonight from Utah.
Tyler Robinson, the suspect in last week's fatal shooting of conservative activist Charlie Kirk, made his first court appearance on camera from the Utah County Jail Tuesday. Wearing a sleeveless smock, Robinson appeared stoic throughout the proceedings, stating only his name.
Could you state your name?
Tyler James Robinson.
I have reviewed your declaration of financial status and find that you are indigent. I'm provisionally appointing a Rule 8 qualified attorney to represent you on your case.
Robinson is charged with aggravated murder, felony discharge of a firearm, 2 counts of witness tampering, and committing a violent offense in the presence of a child. Prosecuting attorneys confirmed Tuesday they are seeking the death penalty.
I am filing a notice of intent to seek the death penalty. I do not take this decision lightly.
Investigators are piecing together evidence, including a rifle found in a wooded area after the shooting at Utah Valley University in Orem. At a press conference Tuesday, officials read messages exchanged between Robinson and his roommate.
The roommate received a text message from Robinson which said, "Drop what you're doing. Look under my keyboard." The roommate looked under the keyboard and found a note that stated, quote, "I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk, and I'm going to take it."
Robinson's being held without bond at the Utah County Jail. He's back in court on September 29th. Kirk's public funeral will take place Sunday at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona, the home field of the Arizona Cardinals. President Trump will attend. Andres Gutierrez, CBS News, Hurricane, Utah.
Still to come tonight on News 3 at 11, early voting in Virginia is just days away, and the candidates are making their final pitch to voters in Hampton Roads. Coming up, we're hearing from the candidates running for lieutenant governor. But first, a popular oceanfront festival is preparing through the wind and the rain. We're looking at how they're fighting to stay on schedule when we come back. But first, David is here with an update on what we can expect. Oh boy, the tropics now.
We have the tropics, although these two areas could get a name. Today's storm was kind of like the rainy low round without a name. These storms could be Gabrielle, could be Umberto, but it's still probably about 48 hours away from getting that point. We got a low pressure system here. We'll find out why things will improve tomorrow. Just a moment.
You're watching WTKR News 3, part of the Scripps News Group.
Early voting in Virginia starts on Friday, and one candidate hoping to get your vote spent the day in Hampton Roads. Ghazala Hashmi, the Democratic nominee for lieutenant governor, held a roundtable discussion on education in Norfolk. Hashmi currently serves as a state senator and says her experience in Richmond makes her ready to serve in Virginia's number 2 role.
We need someone who is experienced, who is capable, who has relationships across both chambers and across the aisles and across all of our state agencies.
She is challenged by Republican nominee for lieutenant governor John Reed. Reed calls himself an outsider with experience as a businessman and broadcaster.
You don't want people who've been kissing butt to try to climb the political ladder. You want people who come in with a fresh set of eyes, an open mind, and an open heart, who will also battle to do what's right for the people of Virginia.
Reed says he wants to debate Hashmi. She tells us that meeting voters and focusing on issues they care about is a better use of her time. Now this.
I'm John Hood, your Virginia Beach neighborhood reporter, down at the oceanfront where the sand has been delivered for this year's Neptune Festival. In a couple of days, these piles of sand will be turned into beautiful pieces of art. But with weather like we've had on Tuesday, organizers are making sure this sand stays dry. On Monday, 566 tons of sand was delivered from North Carolina to 7th Street for the 51st annual Neptune Festival. 32 sculptors from 12 different nations will be making their way to the oceanfront to craft some of the most unique sand sculptures in the world. Sculpting begins this upcoming Monday. With Neptune's fury on full display Tuesday, organizers are making sure the sand stays safe.
The sand's nice and dry and safe under the tent here, but next week when these sculptors work with it in this dry form, they're going to shovel it into these forms, these wedding cakes that they build out of wood and hard rubber, and then they're going to get it really wet. So maybe it just makes it easier to work with up front until they decide it's ready to get really wet and get pounded up.
Over the next few days, crews will be putting walls up around the tent and transforming the space more into a museum for visitors to check out. Now, the next time you see these piles of sand, they will be turned into pieces of artwork. You can check out the Neptune Festival beginning on September 26th. In Virginia Beach, I'm John Hood, WTKR News 3.
Well, turning our attention back to the forecast with Chief Meteorologist David Aldrich. Okay, you've got a big number circled there.
For a good reason. I mean, when you see this, we had tropical storm force winds all day, essentially along the coast here. We had like almost 8 inches plus around Virginia Beach, and that's really not indicative of what we had in maybe Jackson, where they had less than 1/4 of an inch, about 3.5 in places like Hampton, 4 1/4 for Newport News, but Emporia less than 1/4 inch. So maybe it was depending on track. We were expecting 1 to 3 generally, but there could be some isolated 4s and 5s. In some cases, we had some 7s and 8s. Astonishing, given the fact the normal rainfall for all of September is about 5.5. We had more rain in Virginia Beach in one day than what we typically expect for 30 days of September. Now, this coastal flood warning will run in now till 2 a.m. Wednesday for not necessarily the eastern shore of Virginia Beach, but anywhere from Suffolk all the way up towards, say, the peninsulas. We'll be concerned about that flooding as things will improve in the next couple of hours. This low will not be going to New Jersey per se. It's going to move back out to sea. But the wraparound moisture will continue tomorrow and maybe a spot of rain on your Thursday. But the winds are slowing down. Yes, they're still gusting. Wallops Island at 35, Melfa at 30. But you can see 20 in Norfolk and 17 at Kill Devil Hills. The spin associated with this coastal low still dropping rain in Williamsburg, York County, all the way up to Gloucester and Matthews County, for example. But this low, I call it a rainy low round because that's really all it's doing. But it will begin to exit stage right as we head through tomorrow. It's been slow moving in part because of that high pressure system over the Great Lakes and over Maine. It's really been slow to get up, but eventually it will kick back out. Wednesday's planner, 71 at noon, 73 if we're lucky. Winds will be changing direction. As that low spins away, it'll be coming out of the south-southwest, about 10 to 20, so it's not a calm day, but it's not as windy as it was today. 83 is a warm day on Friday. That comes in about 2 degrees above normal, but your weekend, big weekend for the air show, will be back in the mid-70s Saturday and Sunday. And the chance of rain tomorrow, still about 60% as it spins in, it spins back out. It'll be a little bit slow to exit. As you can see at 7 a.m., you may be fine in Duck, Elizabeth City, just mainly gray skies, but the showers in Williamsburg come back around, do-si-do, so to speak, as it comes back down from the north and west, and then tries to kick out over Exmoor at 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. So most of the rain will be in southeast Virginia tomorrow, as will be more likely drier in North Carolina. But as we move into Thursday, just some spots of rain with clearing skies. So tomorrow, 68 for Chesapeake, looking for a high of 73 Norfolk, temperatures generally in the 70s and 60s. And here's your first warning, WTKR News 3 7-day forecast. Really like Friday for many reasons, Jessica. Sunny and warmer, but it's nice. I mean, a pretty good looking day. Mid-70s for the weekend. And of course, we have Norfolk Tides baseball games. They have to do a doubleheader tomorrow because of the rain out today.
Well, are they going to get rained out tomorrow?
I think we'll be okay toward evening. It's going to get vastly improved tomorrow, especially tomorrow afternoon.
A bit of optimism, but some sun is coming just a few days away.
It's coming. It's coming.
All right. Thank you, David. Now this. Let's give it up for our newest everyday hero, Heather Wilson. Way to go, Heather. This week I had a chance to surprise our newest everyday hero, Heather Wilson. She created Kennedy's Angel Gowns in 2016 after she and her husband's daughter was stillborn in 2009. They take donated wedding dresses and turn them into burial garments for stillborn babies. The nonprofit also provides funeral programs, helps with expenses at times, and cuddle cots. Those are devices that slow down the decaying process so parents can spend more time with their baby in the hospital before having to let go for good. They have donated several of them to Centera hospitals across Hampton Roads, and they spearheaded a bereavement room at Centera Norfolk General Hospital too.
What are you feeling right now, Heather?
All the emotions. Grateful for being recognized. I don't do it for recognition. I truly do it because I care, and I have a little angel motivating me.
Our community partner Southern Bank also celebrated Wilson with a $300 gift card. You can support too by participating in the upcoming Angel Walk 5K. You can learn more about that inside my story at WTKR.com. Mark?
Hey, thanks, Jessica. Good stuff there. Congratulations to our everyday hero. Well, Brent Pryce firing, drawing reaction from plenty of coaches across the country, including Virginia Tech's neighbors in the Commonwealth. An arch rival weighs in, and Michael Vick comments on the rumors. It's all coming up next in sports.
We're less than 2.5 hours away from the last of the coastal flood warnings. This runs till 2 a.m. tomorrow morning for the counties you see there in green, the cities, of course, but that about 1 to 2 feet inundation. Most of the rain is beginning to wind down. I know it's a little hard to see here, but when we put it in motion, a lot of it's moving back toward Richmond, moving away, so most of us will sleep a little bit easier tonight, knowing that things will be improving on Wednesday.
Okay, improving tomorrow. We'll see if the game with the Tides will move forward tomorrow.
Hopefully the outfield drink's better than my backyard.
Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see you at 5 a.m. for News 3 this morning.